Good morning from Sweden. I hope you are well. This is the 20th of February 2026 I Ching reading, where we're looking at energies around us and how to best navigate them. So we are starting by rooting ourselves into Mother Earth first and connecting up to heavens above. So we're starting by emptying our lungs and then breathing in through the nose, fresh chi, fresh air. And then blow out through a pinhole, through the lips, and this is a cleansing breath. Releasing thoughts and thought patterns and loops and old energy, and then breathe in through the nose. And then breathe out through a pinhole through the lips, and then in your own time continue doing this for 2 more times. And this is bringing us into the present moment, releasing past energies, bringing in fresh chi, fresh air, fresh breathing in the present moment. And when you finish, continue breathing in and out through your nose into your stomach, feeling the stomach expand as you breathe in, contract as you breathe out, but you're breathing normally now. So how are the energies around us and how do we best navigate them in order to have the most smooth day forward? How do we navigate these energies that we are? How do we best cut the cords with the past that no longer serves, and how, in order to move forward in this new cycle, leave what's old behind, move into what's new. Heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. So earth enemy, Kun is back, always back. It's like, just stand back, just respond. There is no, do not fight it, do not, right? We're moving into the new, but we don't want to waste our energies on things that no longer matters, where we end up leaking. Just let go. So earth has been very, 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 very strong these last few weeks, or maybe month even. So how are the energies around us and how do we navigate them in order to have the smoothest way forward? So heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. So within we have earth, and then we have thunder above earth. So this is eliminating. No, it's not. Sorry, I'm talking. That is thunder, Jen. It's not eliminating, thinking. And kun. So we've got thunder. So without, there is shaking up. It's still going on. Everything around us is still shaking up, is changing, is shocking, is all this, right? But we should not be. We are Mother Earth here. So we're just responding to it. Right? This is nothing that should affect us. We are stable, nurturing, nourishing. Energy. It's great humility, great strength. Taking what we receive and then transmuting it into something good. And then if it doesn't serve, then just put it into Mother Earth. Let her to burn it in the center of her, like this energy center. And this is the lower dantian. It's almost like the lower dantian within us, right? The center of earth, the center of us. So if you're getting triggered by something that is just a little bit too crazy for you, all this stuff that's going on around you, just breathe into the lower dantian and then breathe out releasing it into Mother Earth. So breathe it in, pulling it down from your mind into the lower dantian, and where it can burn, and then breathe out and giving it to Mother Earth, right? And then breathe in. Feel it expands and breathe out, contract, and then giving it to Mother Earth. So pull all your thoughts, all this overreactive mind, the reactive mind, overactive mind into the lower dantian, peace into your center. Transmute and then give to you Mother Earth for her to do what is best, okay? So let's find the changing line. Initial 6, second 6, third 6, fourth 9, fifth 6, and sixth 6. Top 6. And so we've got a yin line turning into a yang line, which means we have fire above Li over Kun. Fire burning above Earth. So there's illumination here, clarity. We're getting clarity from without. It's actually clearing up. It's good, right? Even if it seems like really shocking what's going on around you and it's like really devastating, it might even be that, but that is not your problem, right? That's a problem for the future. And what we're seeing here is that what's being illuminated forward here, I feel, is that not everything. To see clearly, first of all, what's going on might not be a bad thing, right? Necessarily. And then, and we can just allow that to happen. It's not a problem. And it might not necessarily be a bad thing, right? Or not all of it might be bad, you know. Change, you need a big shock to change things around. So you need somebody to change things around in order to move, just change direction on the boat, right? But we're starting to see more clearly because the light above Earth, so the sun is rising above Earth here. So we're starting to get some clarity, seeing more clearly. So let's have a look at the changing. So we've got Gen. And then we've got yin, yang, yin, which is yin, yang, yin, which is kan. Water over mountain. So there's water, there's like a water, could be a cloud above the mountain, gathering, which will give moisture to the plants on the mountain, or it might be water pouring down. Let's have a look. So we've got the thunder over, so we've got like underneath there's water gathering over the mountain. So let's have a look at the lines as well. So the first should be a yang, this should be a yin, so that's correct. That should be a yang, that should be a yin, that should be a yang, that should be a yin. So the second and sixth line are correct. All the other were not, and then that one is corresponding. So the first and the fourth are corresponding. So that's, but the opposite. So there's a bit, not everything is not correct at the moment. Okay, it's still, the world is still shaking, right? And then same thing here. Yin yang yin yang. Yang, yin, yang, yin, yang, yin. So it's not only one line that's correct and we're moving into, okay. And they're still corresponding there. And the top lines are corresponding. So we've got, so in a way, a little bit more balance, but in another way, not. Okay. And then what's advanced is yang, yin, yang, yin, yang, yin is more correct. What's advancing here, which is the hidden energy behind us, is more. So the only one that is not, if we had this one being a yin line, so we had, that would have been 63 already fulfilled. But let's have a look at the, and that all the lines would have been correct in that one. But let's have a look at the got Chen over Kun. Kun, which is 16, which is delight, yes. 16, delight. This one is the second time it's coming in now, and that's definitely Earth. And then I think so. Well, let's have a look at that actually. And then we've got Li over Kun, which is 35. 35. Can't remember, I don't know what that is. And then let's have a Kan. Kan again. 39. So let's have a look at this. So delight, which we had only a few days ago. And this one is one of contradiction. Is it the name of this gua is delight, but the Yao text is not so delightful. The aim of this gua is to expound the principle of harmony and delight. When one has accomplished great achievements and still remains humble, people will be delighted to gather around. However, this gua does not describe a situation of harmony and delight. Okay, so even if it's called delight, it doesn't describe this, right? But gives warning against self-satisfaction. It is too easy for one to indulge in one's own pleasure and forget the delight of other people. Right, and this is about speaking, getting into your own ego and not seeing the different other side of the whole thing, right? We're being stuck in our own mind, and maybe this is what the enlightenment here with the light, with the brightness of Li here, fire, which is bringing delight, bringing illumination over a situation, was still like centered. If we remain centered in like grounded into Mother Earth and becoming the Mother Earth energy, just responding and receiving and then transmuting and letting go, okay? Or letting go into Mother Earth, or we would transmute it into something good and then present it to the world, okay? So we are continuing to do this, okay? So delight is you. And it is, I think it is, let's have a look at the elements. The element is wood element, okay, wood. And what we are then very much transmuting here is the anger and frustration that we feel, okay? With anger and frustration, we take it in when we feel it, when it's rising, when we're being triggered, we breathe in through the nose, into the stomach, bringing all this anger and resentment down into the center, the lower dantian, which is an energy field right in the center of us, with like 2 fingers below the navel, 3 fingers in, approximately around there. Like it's like the solar plexus chakra, I think it'd be similar, right? Or it's probably the same, it's just called something different. Or it would be the same, okay? So breathe in and then it expands, and breathe out, it contracts, and then it becomes hotter, right? So we're transmuting it here, and then we're giving it to Mother Earth, okay? And the wood element is also associated with the livers, like the liver. And liver, like we've got rising liver, it's like rising frustration and anger. It's like we've got, you know, that's the emotion of the liver. So we can breathe into the liver, breathing in this green color into the liver, and then feel how it's like almost like washing. It's washing. It's like pulsating through the liver, and then we breathe out, and then releasing it to Mother Earth, and then breathe in this green color into the liver and feeling it pulsating, cleaning out almost all the anger and frustration out of the liver, and then breathe out, releasing down into Mother Earth. And you can even add the sound for the liver, which is shoo, shoo. As you feel the colors, you breathe in, green, and as you breathe out, shoo, and feel how your liver is vibrating and get this vibrating. And do that a few times. Shoo. And then when you've done that a couple of times, you breathe into the lower dantian, pulling everything down. And then breathe out, releasing into Mother Earth. So that's a wonderful practice you can do to calm a frustration and anger that might rise throughout the day. So let's have a look at 35, which is proceeding forward. So this is the action energy of the Li, and then proceeding forward, and then with the support of the Kun, the nourishment of the Kun, then we can move forward. So this is fire, so it's fire energy. So we're getting a little bit, we've not had an awful lot of fire throughout this year actually. It's been started off with a lot of metal cutting away and some water going deeper, and then there's been lots of earth in particular, and then wood as well. So earth, which is like grounding and nourishing, and then wood, which is seeing clearly, and then growing upward, and then developing, growing our inner, cultivating our inner virtue, and then growing with this one, becoming a more balanced and wise person. And then number 39, which is a water element, and hardship, which is the underlying energy, which is water. We've got 3 elements affecting us today, but wood is the main one. Let's have a look at proceeding forward, actually, 35. So we understand that before we go into delight. So delight is the main energy, like a situation that is not very, very, very good at the moment, but is it our ego that's causing too much trouble, right? Or is it ego generally? Is it ego that's causing this trouble? There's a lot of ego. Is your ego and other people's ego causing trouble and suffering. 35. Ying is to advance, to promote, or to proceed. Both Willem and Blowfield translate Ying as progress. I adopt the term proceeding forward. Things cannot remain forever in great strength. Thus, after great strength, proceeding forward follows. The structure of this gua is fire above, earth below. Fire is a symbol of Li, which represents the sun. The structure of this gua shows that the sun is rising over the earth, an image of progress and process, or a process. Things cannot remain forever in great strength. Thus, after great strength, proceeding forward follows. Okay. So great strength, which is when we've got a lot of energy and got great strength to do things. But we need to proceed forward to release, right? The structure of the gua, fire above, earth below. Fire is symbol of Li, which represents the sun. The structure of this gua shows that the sun is rising over the earth, an image of process and progress. So the sun is rising over there. And here we can see like how, I think these are fire cauldrons. There might be fire in cauldrons. And this is the image of the sun, or it could be growing upwards as well. So the sun is shining actually on the crops here, which is producing something new. The horizontal stroke in the middle of the sun is believed to represent a dark spot on its surface. Above the sun, there are 2 straight lines that symbolizes the horizon of the earth. Upon the earth, 2 plants are flourishing and blooming upward with the young energy of the sun glowing like the flame of a fire. The ideograph shows not only an act of proceeding, but also the radiance of the energy. Okay? So this is what we're moving into. Proceeding forward, Lord Kang is honoured with numerous horses in a single day. Tries received at interview. Proceeding forward, it denotes advancing. The bright is appearing over the earth. The submissive is clinging to the brilliant. The gentle is proceeding and moving upward. It symbolizes that the Lord who maintains the country in order is honored with numerous horses and received at interviews 3 times a day. Proceeding forward, it denotes advancing. The bright is appearing over the earth. The submissive is clinging to the brilliant. So what is brilliant? What is it that we need to cling to? The submissive, which is kun, right? So the kun is to the light, right? The gentle is proceeding and moving upward. So the gentle is kun, right? The gentle is these yin lines and is proceeding upwards. It symbolizes that the Lord who maintains the country in order is honored with numerous horses and received at interviews 3 times a day. The light comes forth over the earth, an image of proceeding forward. In correspondence with this, the superior person cultivates his virtues and brightens them by himself. So this is a superior person cultivates his virtues and brightens them by themselves. Yeah, this is, we're letting go of ego. This is our own virtues, right? It's letting go of ego. Ego is just surface level. It's all about what we look like, right? How people perceive us, right? It has nothing to do with truth. Ego is only destructive. It's like ego, and then people say, oh, we need ego to survive. Yeah, we need ego, but I don't even think we need ego to survive, right? The self-preservation and the wanting is this piece of the kun, which is the central, just the being, the soul. Like the ego is only here to create destruction, right? It's our karma, I think. It's how our karma play out. So with lots of ego, we've got lots of karma, right? And lots of ego creates a lot of destruction. And look at the planet, like where we live on now, how we're destroying Mother Earth. And that's all our ego. Right? Oh, we want to have fast cars and we want to, we look so bright and we look so clever. And it's, oh, look at me having all this money. What we're celebrating people being famous. Or we're looking up to people who are famous, right? But what is fame really? It's just that lots more people know that you exist, right? More than a few people. And that doesn't matter because that's all exterior. It's got nothing to do with you, the truth of you, the center of you. And we're celebrating somebody who's got lots of money, but that's just material. It has no essence, right? I'm not saying money has no essence. Money in itself probably has got essence as well. It's got its own energy field. But like just being known for having lots of money and making lots of money, and destroying other people's life while making lots of money, we're celebrating that because we don't see that. And then we're trying to achieve that for ourselves and become that's just walking over corpse. What we are being called to, like again and again and again, is to walk out of this. Let go of the ego. Sink into Mother Earth. Connect to heavens above. And start with the fire here to illuminate what is really true. Is anything that's going on Earth, what human beings doing, is there any truth to that? Like the daily life? Or is it just distractions and our ego playing out and the karma playing out? But underneath all the layers of this, the illusions and disillusions and karma and obscurations. Underneath there is the truth of us. And the truth of us has no ego. And this is the actual true thing that keeps us alive, because it's life, right? That doesn't die. It cannot die. But it doesn't really care about this body. Like, it's not like it doesn't care about the body. Like, it cares about everything, right? But it can shift and change into something different, another body, another, I don't know, in a different dimension. I have no idea. If you like look into quantum physics, which I'm definitely not an expert on, far from, dabbling in, little understanding. But it's like different layers, but you know, this body is just temporary, right? And here we are just fighting on this planet in this sphere about things that are just temporary. There's no truth in them. So that's what we're being asked to do here. So let's have a look at the actual main energy, but that's what we're moving into. So we're burning the ego away. Let's have a look. 16, delight. Humbleness. So different, oh no, it's the inverse of the preceding, humbleness. Humbleness leads people to delight. Yeah, humble, stay humble. Allow, humble. Earth is humble. Humbleness and delight are complementary. So if you want delight, we need to stay humble. When the ego rises and we go, rah, 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 look at me, bah, 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 I want to do it my way, bah, bah, bah. That's not humble, that's just plowing through. And that's just ego. And when we're being hurt, when somebody's got a different opinion and we're getting angry about that one, that's just ego. Stay humble and loving and allowing, receptive. That's the way forward. Do not fight here. That's just ego. We think the fighting will bring us forward faster, and it might, or it will maybe, or quite often at the time, but in the long run, it will create more distraction when we're rushing forward and just plowing forward. But that is not for us for now. We will not get involved in this. This is not ours. It keeps on coming back to me. This is not ours to deal with. We are just here now to respond. We are not the leader. We are here to serve and to make sure that everything is becoming as best as it can under the current circumstances, right? But we're not fighting something we cannot control. If we see we cannot control it and we're noticing how it's rising and we're trying to fight something that we cannot control and just coming into conflict all the time, then we need to step back and release and realize this I cannot control, this here I'm leaking energy. And then actually go into responding and receiving in order to transmute this humbleness, to become humble, to be humble, so we can create delight or enthusiasm. When one's harvest is great and one can still remain humble, there is sure to be another outburst of delight. Thus, after humbleness, delight follows. Okay, so humbleness is before. Yeah, so all the I Ching, like in the book, is like, it's a process of you know, it goes from the beginning, which is the initiating, and then responding with the two, and it goes all the way through, right? All the creation and all the beings are being created, and then we're going, you know, through this process of seeing, you know, and being taught how to cultivate our virtue and how to act and how to respond and, you know, how to live in harmony with nature and to live in harmony with the universe, not fight against it, because this is what the human race is doing right now. We're fighting against the nature, and we actually, our ego is so great that we believe that we can do this, right? Take on the universe. Instead of living in harmony with the ebbs and flows of the universe. Like everything is waves in the universe. There's radio waves, there's electrical waves, there's energy waves, there's light waves. Everything is waves, everything is moving. Everything is changing from one thing to another constantly. Day becomes night, becomes day, becomes night. Seasons, spring, summer, winter, autumn, winter, spring, summer, autumn, winter. Everything is changing. The trees are getting their leaves and they're losing the leaves. They're getting the leaves and they're losing the leaves. And the bushes and the plants are growing. A baby's being born, growing up and growing older and then dying, right? And allowing this to happen because this is the nature of the universe. This is the nature. And here we are doing all sorts of things like cryogenics, I think it's called, where we're freezing our bodies in order so when they come up with some thing, you know, they can cure this medicine, they can, you know, wake us up again. But then the spirit is gone already because we are not our bodies. A consciousness is not our body. The body is just like a meat suit that we have in order to be able to be here to do something and to actually get to know who we truly are, to connect to who we truly are, get out of all these obscurations and clear our karma, and to be able to see things clearly. Delight, favorable to establish future laws and mobilize the multitude. So here is like, create a friendship group. If things are great, really turbulent around you, which it is around us currently, right? We know, you know, establish future laws, get up, you know, the right leaders around us and mobilize the multitude. So bring in everyone, make sure that there's the right people are part of the conversation. It's not just some people running crazily in one direction, okay? Delight, the firm meets with response, its will is fulfilled, acting in accordance with the time and moving forward. This is delight. So here is like the firm meets with response. So there's the firm here, which is the lower part of the upper gua, which is thunder, but it meets with response, got responds, responding around it, right? So act in accordance with time and moving forward. So this is delight. When you are listening to the universe and moving in line with the universe and nature and just releasing this ego that's just causing havoc and trouble, right? Delight, acting in accord with the time and moving forward. It is following the way of heaven and earth. How much more will it be so in establishing future laws and mobilize the multitude? Yeah, following the way of heaven and earth. There's nothing else we can do. Everything else is just futile. It just keeps us in this loop of suffering, endless loop of suffering. Just release it. If you cannot control it, release it and then come back to yourself. We had like turning back the other day. Coming back to what is the truth of us, right? And then starting a new cycle and stop leaking energy on things that it's just a waste of time, right? And energy. How much will you continue to do this? In establishing future laws and mobilizing the multitude, get friends around you, you know, and then start speaking up as well, but kindly nourishing like a mother would. Point out, like, hang on, maybe that's not correct. Not aggressively rushing forward, okay? Heaven and earth move in accordance with time. Therefore, sun and moon do not deviate from their courses, and the four seasons do not err. Yep. Did I? Heaven and earth move in accordance with time, with the time. It will continue what it always will have done, right? Throughout the eons of time, the endless time, the time without beginning. There is no the beginningless time, right? And what is time anyway? But this will continue when this Earth, planet Earth, is long gone. The universe is still continuing, right? The life, the consciousness is still continuing, and it be in some other form somewhere else, and it probably already in some other form somewhere else, right? And what we see here on earth is just illusions. The holy person moves in accordance with the time and situation. Therefore, punishment and penalties becomes just. And people are genuinely convinced, great indeed of the time and significance of delight. To move in accordance with the time and situation. Therefore, punishment and penalties becomes just. And people are genuinely convinced, great indeed of the time and significance of delight. This is talking about, moving in time, but the time and the situation, right? And not rushing forward, not crushing, not destroying things, and not act aggressively, but just moving forward. And if you come from a kind heart and a stable, balanced earth energy, right? People will be genuinely convinced. They will feel, how genuinely you are, how genuine you are, and then they will be convinced by this. And start see through this distortion that's going on at the moment, this shaking up. And you got to know, this shaking up is not just you. It's just you, you feeling it. But other people might not notice it. It might be going on. And do you know what? It's not necessarily a bad thing. Just let go of that ego and see how it proceeds, okay? But don't just watch, right? Favorable to establish future laws. Bring in the people around you, the people that needs to know, and people you trust, right? And then be open and honest with them, but not in a way where you stirring up trouble, right? Just gather the right people around you. Thunder comes out of earth, rising and stirring, an image of delight. So thunder comes out of the earth, rising and stirring, rising thunder out of the earth, right? I was doing some sound effects here. In correspondence with this, the ancient king composed music to honor virtue and merit. With ardent eagerness, he offered it to God and shared it with his ancestors. Yeah, so this is us too. What are we honoring? Virtue and merit. This is what we need to honor. We don't need to honor lots of money. We don't need to honor lots of fame. We don't need to honor, things that are just surface layer. That's what we do too often on the planet. What we're honoring is true virtue and merit, right? And then we offer this. And then when we honor that, then this is who we become, right? Because we're honoring that. We see what is true and what is the right, correct way. And then we can become this. And then this is when we can offer to God our humbleness, our virtue, our love and compassion to everything around us. Our responding, everything, like we're offering, Mother Earth is offering herself to heavens above. Give me something to nourish and grow. That's what we're asking, and saying we are ready and open, humble and loving, ready to receive what you offer, and then nourish and grow it into something beautiful, and then share it with his ancestors. And then this is actually goes about talking, the way I see it, it's like healing our ancestral line, right? We are carrying trauma from our ancestors. I think I spoke about this yesterday as well. It's like how our DNA, when we're going through a trauma, then like certain parts of our DNA are like being shut down almost. I'm not sure if I explained this very well, but it's like it's being changed, the DNA actual. And then the DNA is what's being handed over from our parents, we get like from our father and our mother. And then with all this, the DNA, we also get the damaged DNA, right? Or damaged, or the parts of the DNA that's been shut down. And we can heal this. And when we heal this DNA, we're actually healing the ancestral line, like all the way back. So this is what we need to share with our ancestors. So we need to cultivate ourselves and heal ourselves, and then to share it with our ancestors. And then we can move forward and actually share it forward as well. Share it to the world around us. Share it to all sentient beings around us. But we need to be this stable, responding earth energy, right? So let's read this, the top 6. Dark delight, make a change, no fault. Dark delight reaches the top. How could it last long? So let's read more into that one. The yielding line at the uppermost place represents the climate of delight. A Chinese adage says, extreme joy begets sorrow. Darkness arrives, sorrow is coming, delight is over. How can a dissolute life last long? Take the upper gua, thunder represents motion. One at this place needs to take action to make a change. Then there will be no fault. The problem of this line lies in not following the advice of the Yao text of the 5th line. The Jukuzu advises that one at the 5th place to remain steadfast and upright, even when sick, persist in humility and seek harmony. Make a change, proceed. Yeah, so this changes into proceeding forward, right? This delight alternates into proceeding forward. So we need to make a change. But we need to look at this. So let's have a look at the delight alternates bringing together. The line is located at the supreme place, but the Yao text does not suggest circumstances are supreme. Yin, yang, yin. So it's a yin line at the yin place, right? But because it's not surrounded by, it's like the correct one. Well, it's resting on a yang line. I'm not sure if that's good, actually. A yin element at the yang place. No. Yang, yin, yang. Yeah, it's a yin element at a yang place. This line is weak and fragile. It tends to be overly comfortable, as in a cozy nest. One wants to be great, but mounts on the solid lines at the 4th place, feeling threatened. Psychologically, this place is not tranquil and stable. Thus, the author of the text advises, be steadfast and upright. Even sick still persist, won't I? Here is a warning that in facing an overly comfortable situation, one should remain steadfast and upright and be on guard against conceit and impetuousness. I need to look that word up. Otherwise, death awaits. Conceit. So being conceited is like believing one knows too much, right? Or knows more than we do. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I've reached the height of enlightenment. We're like just flailing around right at the bottom, far away from enlightenment. Well, that's me. There are different ways to interpret this line. The Yao text in Chinese is Cheng Ji. Cheng can mean steadfast and upright, or divination. Yi means sickness. Wilhelm translates Cheng Li as persistently ill, and Blowfield as illness is presaged. Well, lots of big words here for me. Sorry, I'm only Swedish. James Legge, or Legg, good Lord, I'm just getting myself in trouble here with this text. Anyway, I do apologize. Translates it as a chronic complaint. Another translation puts a colon between Cheng and Li and translates the phrase as divination, sickness. Here the 5th line is considered the further stage of the 4th line. The situation of the 4th line is that as a result of delight, great accumulation will be obtained. Be not suspicious. Gather friends around you as a hair clasp holds hair together. This element, representing a situation that comes out of the 4th line, should remain steadfast and upright, consistent with what the text has advised. Even when sick, one should persist in the principle of keeping delight alive. The upper mutual gua is kan, or water. Mutual, the upper. So the mutual gua, which is the opposite, right? It's kan, water. Can also represent sickness. The upper gua is Chen, or thunder. Chen represents the state of being alive. That's the Yao text. Won't die. Okay, so this is not easy situation. So remain upright and steadfast and upright, right? Truthfully, you need to proceed forward, okay? But even when sick, persist in humility and seek harmony. But we need to take action here. So we need to gather the right people. We need to speak to the correct people. Right, the right people that are our friends. are people who can understand and people who needs to know. So things are going on around us that we need to share that with the people around us, right? And who might be affected by it. And who are the future lords who's got positions where they can make a change or have an input. That needs to be part of this, right? Needs to be part of the understanding. 39, which is water. And this is just hardship. So let's quickly have a look at this one. Hardship. One is injured, abroad is sure to return home. Thus, the household. Wrong one. 38, hardship. Oh, this is about, speaking about, this is like two crutches here, and it's about a lame person. So it's difficulty of walking, hardship. So it is like the underlying energy is about hardship. If there's misunderstanding and diversity in household, sure, hardship will result. Thus, after diversity, hardship follows. So if there's misunderstanding, and there is misunderstanding underneath, take that. And it might be you, actually, that misunderstand the situation. So when you speak to other people, don't come from your ego. Like, really look clearly and say, like, okay, I see it this way. It might not be correct, but I think you need to know about this one, okay? If one loves others and they do not respond in the same way, one should turn inward and examine one's own love. If one treats others politely and they do not return politeness, one should turn inward and examine one's own politeness. When one does not realize what one desires, one must turn inward and examine oneself in every point. This is about, it's like everything starts within, right? This is the microcosm. We're like a microcosm, we're our essence, right? Or everything about us, right? Is the microcosm is like the small bit of everything the greater outside. So what's going on in your close circle of friends or work or family or whatever, it's also going on in the world. It's also going on in the greater universe, right? But we can't see that, right? We only see as far as the planet. And then we don't, and often we see, like, it's so easy to look at other people and what they're doing. Like, look at them doing that bad thing, right? But we don't look under our own nose. What's going on here? What's going on around me? And what's going on within me? Right? Because this is where it all begins. It's all the same, right? So what's going on around you is the same turbulence that is with that, it's within you, okay? And in order to stop the turbulence without, you need to stop the turbulence within. And then rest down into this earth energy. Respond, respond. This is what the I Ching is telling us. Respond, 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 right? But we need to take action, but we need to do it in a wise way. So gather the future Lord, or establish future lords. And just make sure that the right people are around when great decisions are being made. You need to have the correct people around, okay? The decision might be the same, but everyone needs to be involved, okay? So, yes. Yeah, I think that's the reading for today. I hope it was of benefit, and I'm wishing you a beautiful day ahead. And remember, stay present, grounded, responding, and then taking action, but from wisdom. Okay, I am wishing you a beautiful day. Bye-bye.